Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amara and welcome to today's video. Today's video is something a little bit different and it is all along self-improvement and becoming your highest self, which is something I speak about anyway, but I just thought it was time to start sharing it on here in this kind of format as well. So throughout today's video, we're really going to be talking about this concept of being delusional. I'm sure we've all been on TikTok and have seen the TikToks of being Delulu is the solulu. I love them. It's actually one of my favorite TikTok trends because being delusional is actually one of the biggest tools to changing your life and self-development. And I am going to tell you why, and I'm also going to share how you can start using this to your advantage and really use the power of being delusional to create a different reality for yourself. So first things first, what do I mean by being delusional? Now, the reason that we are talking about this and the reason that I say that being delusional can be one of your greatest tools is that when we are in the position of wanting to change our life, we are quite often in a state where we're in a really low place. Right? Not always, but sometimes we're in a low place, we don't know where to go, we want life to look different, but we don't know how to get there. And this is where we maybe start looking towards our higher self. And the amount of times I've spoken to people and they've said that like they imagine their higher self and they do all of these meditations and whatever it might be, but when they're trying to imagine their higher self, they feel very removed from her. Like she is a different version of them and she's very unattainable. She's not relatable. She's not within the scope of who they are right now. And this is where this tool of being delusional is a really funny way to put just a real shift in identity and a change of vibration. So when I talk about vibration and energy, this is one of the keys to changing our life. And if you have explored any of the sort of self-development around this of changing your life in terms of manifestation or the laws of attraction or whatever it might be, you will know that energy and vibration are absolute key when we think about changing our life and self-growth and becoming a different person. Quite often the first step in that journey is shifting our vibration and cleansing our energy and becoming that highest version through aligning on the same vibration as the things that we want. Now, quite often that is easier said than done, right? And this is where being delusional comes in. Because if I told you tomorrow that you had to walk outside of your house and, for example, believe you were the most beautiful, intelligent, incredible, strong, I don't know, like maybe you were an astronaut, like if I were to ask you to go outside the door right now and believe that, you'd probably struggle. You'd look at who you are in this moment and be like, well, I know that I'm not an astronaut, or I know I'm not the strongest person in the world, or I know that I'm not the most beautiful person, or whatever it might be. But if I asked you to go outside, and even though you do not believe this, I want you to just humor me for an afternoon and be a little bit delusional and believe that you truly are that version of yourself. You are the strongest person, you are the most beautiful, you are the most energetically aligned or the most magnetic or whatever it might be. And I want you to go and be delusional about that for an afternoon. Now, the power of becoming delusional is that actually what happens is the universe doesn't know the difference between you going and pretending and being a little delusional versus you actually being that. The universe can't tell the difference. Not really. I mean, embodiment is a thing, and of course we can talk about that in another video, but at this stage, they're both pretty good, right? And when we think about this element of becoming delusional and then stepping into that, what you're telling the universe is like, look, I'm ready. When you're actually going out and behaving a little bit delusionally, is that a word? I think so. When you are being that little bit delusional, your vibration goes from here, an old version of you energy, all the way up to here where you are actually vibrating and aligning with the things that you want. You're becoming magnetic towards the things that you want. And this is where the power of being delusional is so unbelievably incredible, because we then take this, oh, I feel like an imposter, I feel like a fraud, I'm doubting myself, but you know what, I'm gonna pretend, I'm gonna be delusional and step into not doubting myself or not feeling like an imposter. And at first I'm pretending, at first I don't really believe it, At first I know that I'm being a little delusional. I'm probably thinking, who on earth do I think I am? But the more and more I practice being delusional, being delusionally in love with my life, or being so delusional towards my dreams and knowing that they can happen, the more I begin to believe this, and the more that I'm telling the universe that I believe this, and the more that the things in my life start to align with me, and the more the energy I put out is being given back to me, and I start to attract things in alignment with this version that I have been trying to embody through being a little bit delusional. And once I start to create this connection, soon and very quickly I start to become her. And this all started from me being a little bit delusional. This all started from me stepping out of my comfort zone and maybe doing something that sounded absolutely nuts to most people, delusional. But from that, I have then stepped into this complete higher version of myself, and the world around me starts to fall into place. And when I am talking to people about becoming magnetic, and this is something that I will do a whole other video on, but when I am talking to people about becoming magnetic, being delusional is one of the first steps. And the reason I say this is because if you are going from someone who isn't particularly magnetic, or lacks a lot of self-confidence, or isn't really sure in their direction or their purpose, through you being a little bit delusional and even playing a role towards becoming that version of yourself, you are creating a vibration that aligns with that, as I've said. So this little bit of faking it till you make it, being a little delusional, is actually taking you so much closer to what it is you want. Now, circling back to this idea of pretending to be someone or an alter ego. Now, this is not going to be for everyone, but I do know that this works for a lot of people really well. So I do want to share this with you. Now, it isn't something that I particularly resonate with, but you might find that you do resonate with this. And this is the idea of an alter ego. So sometimes when we are so within our head of who it is that we are, not seeing the opportunity for us to grow, adopting almost a bit of an alter ego of our higher self. Again, this is a little delusional, but adopting this alter ego of our higher self can often be a really fantastic tool. So by that, what I mean is when you are going into a situation where you feel a little bit intimidated, maybe you are public speaking, maybe you have a presentation in front of your boss, maybe you have maybe you have a presentation at university or school or whatever it might be, I want you to almost adopt this alter ego, different version of yourself. For a lot of people, I feel like this might be adopting Serena Vanderwoodson energy, and she's your alter ego. I feel like she is just one of the most magnetic people. But when you think about this, it may be a case of you adopting that slightly different energy and this alter ego. Now, again, this might not work for everyone. It might be something that you use loosely and you imagine that person and then kind of allow that energy to embody into yourself. But through you really stepping into, okay, this is the version of myself that I see myself being, then really adopting that. What would she wear? What would she do? What would she say? What would she look like in those moments? And really beginning to create this highest self version of yourself. And whilst at the beginning you may be doing this as almost like an out-of-body experience, so this is an alter ego, it's not me, the more you begin to show up as that version of yourself, you will start to become it. The universe will start responding to that. And the more and more we're surrounded by things and we behave in certain ways, they become habits and they become sort of defaults for us. So if you're really wanting to change your reality and shift your energy from a really, really low place into a much, much higher place and create complete transformation, you are going to have to be a little bit delusional. And the reason that I say this, and this is really here for those of you who've come to this video because you are in a really low place and you're like, how do I move myself out of that? The reason that being delusional is probably going to be your greatest tool is that when we are in this lower vibration of not feeling like ourselves, not feeling like we're capable, maybe nothing's going our way, the world feels like it's against us, we're in this constant like wheel of low vibration and low vibrational energy, and the universe is responding to us based on the energy that we're putting out, right? And we're in this constant state of this low energy, low energy, low energy, and it's just feeding back to us. So in order for you to take what's known as like a quantum leap, this huge leap towards a different vibration, being delusional is probably the easiest tool that you can use. Obviously there are other things that we can do and those are all great as well, but this element of I could simply shift into this slightly delusional version of me, but create a massive shift in my vibration that otherwise would take so much work. That is a gift. That is a tool. That is like a life hack. And that is why I say that, you know what, being Delulu could actually be the solulu. It's one of my favorite trends because it actually is. When we use it to our advantage and we're using it to become our highest version self, it is truly the sort of factor and the catalyst for so much transformation and change, and the universe can then respond to that. So with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope that you enjoy maybe going forward into spaces that challenge you with this idea of being delusional. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to let me know, comment below, share it with a friend who might enjoy it. But otherwise, I will see you in my next video here on my channel. It might be a vlog, it might be a yoga class, it might be another video like this. Let me know what you would like to see, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.